I think more than just Amish
Hi,
folks.
everybody.
Hey, internets! It's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is. Hey, did you hear? Welcome to Paradise Academy, Kids on Bikes RPG. This is Season 2, Episode 2 of our Kids on Bikes RPG game that happens every Thursday right here on Mini Terrain Domain. Twitch.tv/Mini Terrain Domain. And in just a moment, we will bring you up to speed and get into the action. First, a couple of quick announcements. One, look over there. Domain pops up above him and Tamiko's heads.
Look over there.
They've got 47 of them. Do they need more? No. Are they going to get more? Yes. As evidenced by Smokebeard.
They smoke.
Don't be telling them we don't need more.
Because of the sheer volume of domain pops, this is the only way that the players can get adversity tokens that they can use for bonuses in when they're rolling for various things, or they can use them for the D100 mystery grab bag for 5 domain pops. So yeah, keep that in mind. You can subscribe, resubscribe, gift subs, cheer 500 bits, tip $5. All that stuff earns domain pops for the players. On Monday of this week, we returned to Galarian with Scribes and Scrolls, episode 91. We are back in the swing of things, so keep an eye out for that. See, that's what happens when I say they don't need any more. All of a sudden, they just start coming in.
Thank you,
Tamiko. But yeah, on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, you can catch Scribes and Scrolls, our Pathfinder 2e game. And of course, every other Tuesday, and we'll keep you updated. We have a lag. We won't be playing this Tuesday, but instead in a couple weeks, with Sky Battle Iron Gods on Tuesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And I'm just realizing that the one connecting thread besides me between all of those games is M. You're in every one of the games, which is pretty typical for the last
middle of the Venn diagram.
It's pretty typical for the last 5 years of Mini Terrain Domain streaming. Is M's been on just about every game that we've run. But yeah, those are the other games that we have going on. Just a reminder that while we are playing kids in a grades 6 through 12 fictional academy in a fictional town in 1985, these kids got some potty mouths sometimes. Looking at you, Laz. Actually, I'm looking at Rosie.
Bullshit. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, sometimes you will hear adult language. Sometimes you will hear intense, emotional, dramatic, or even violent situations. Possibly, as a content warning, possibly there will be, and I will content warning this exact game tonight, there will be some degree of bullying taking place. So be aware of that. Also be aware that myself and the players at this table, we have all had session zeros. We are very open and transparent about our lines and veils. We have safety tools in place so that we can keep everybody safe at the table. And we encourage you to do the same thing at your own tables. It's important to make sure you know what everybody's limitations are, and that you also have things in place to prevent, in the case that somebody's lines or veils change, or you may accidentally stray somewhere, they can throw up a yellow light or a red light or something like that. Finally, as we tell you before every stream, mental health is super important to us here at MTD, which is why we remind you that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference, whether you believe it or not. It is true. You can be struggling for any number of reasons. It doesn't matter. getting help is important. Best thing I ever did a few years ago was to finally seek out therapy, and it really helped me to deal with a lot of the depression and anxiety that I was dealing with, and I'd been very open about. And as a case in point about anybody can be struggling about anything, I had a minor panic attack today. But I had learned how to cope with it because of therapy. Because I reached out and talked to somebody. And that's the important thing that I want you to take from this is you don't have to struggle alone. You don't have to try to figure things out on your own. There are professionals out there that can help you. And if you're like I was a couple years ago, I didn't even know where to go. I didn't know how to find somebody. You don't have to worry about that. Anytime you can come into our chat here at MTD and you can type !help. And as Jeremy has done in the chat, and some URLs will pop up. I believe those are also, actually, they're right there at the bottom of the screen now. One of the URLs is findahelpline.com, or you can check out the growing list of resources at takethis.org. We encourage you to check out those websites, bookmark them, save them for yourself, save them for a friend, and remember, you matter. With that, I would like to welcome you all to Paradise Academy. Most recently, you began your first day at Paradise Academy, starting to get settled into the routine of classes, reconnecting with some old friends. Jessica had to go to the school counselor, guidance counselor, and answer some difficult questions and come face to face with her own reflection. Others of you got to meet some of your teachers, some of your other classmates, some of your rivals. A typical day in 1985 at a school called Paradise Academy. And when we left off, we were just getting ready to go to lunch. And I think that's where we're going to pick up. I know there were a couple of characters we didn't get back to in the third round last time. We're going to do that in the either right now at lunch or in the afternoon classes. We'll be sure to get to Oak and Laz, and then we'll start going through the day and see what comes up. And so with that, we're going to start with the lunch bell ringing at I believe it's 11:25, or is it 11:30? Nope, it's 11:30. So at 11:30, the lunch bell rings, and all of your classes, there's a little more energy of people getting out of the classes, moving to lockers, and making their way down to the lowest level where the cafeteria is, because everybody wants to get to lunch. People want to get there first. People want to get, you want to get the burritos when they're hot. You want to get the pizza when it's greasiest.
You want to get a good booth. What are you talking about?
Yo, there's a booth. There's
a
booths
booth
in this cafeteria. God, what a cool place to go to school.
Dude. And so,
yeah, if I had a booth, God bless.
We had freaking prison tables.
It's now canon that around the edges of the cafeteria there are booths. It's going to be a matter of seeing who actually gets the booths and who has to sit at the tables in the middle. As you all are getting out of class, and there's the mad dash of people leaving their classes, you are coming out of third period, and I'm just double checking.
I almost forgot to get out my class schedule.
It's actually Rosie and Oak are in, you're coming out of geometry class. And
I would look at Oak and I'd be like, I'm dead. I'm already confused. And all we did was go over the syllabus.
It's all right. It's just your first day.
I'm dead.
If
You have to
need-
help me. And I
I don't-
grab Oak by his tiny shoulders.
I
I'm
will-
like, okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. No, I will. Don't worry. It's okay.
Okay. Math isn't my thing. And to be honest, history isn't my thing. And English isn't really my thing either.
Oh, okay. Okay. Rosie, that's a lot. That's a lot, but it's okay.
Well,
We're gonna get you through this.
I
know
got
it's just the
you.
first
I got
day,
you for math.
so
and
don't worry about it.
Okay. We should hurry to lunch. We don't want any of the prison tables.
Yeah.
As the two of you
No
are
prison tables, right? Okay.
As the two of you are making your way through the halls, as Rosie lets go of your shoulders, Oak, and turns heading towards the stairs that lead downstairs. You guys are currently on the first floor. Coming out of geometry, all you really need to do is cross one of the most dangerous intersections, because you've got all the classes coming from this way. You've got the West Wing classes are all merging, and everybody's converging on this stairway to go down to the next level. And as Rosie turns, it takes only a moment, and Oak, you lose Rosie in the crowd.
Shit.
You are making
Every
your
man for
So I think
himself.
you are
I think
making your way.
It's like the
Go ahead.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
I think it's like the two of us are talking, right? The two of us are talking. We're like reminiscing and being like happy that we're seeing each other, because like this is the first class we've had together.
Mhm.
And then I think there's like that natural V like spread where she goes left, I go right, but like I lose track because I'm just talking at that point. And then it goes,
What was the last thing you
and
heard?
I don't hear her voice anymore, right? Like I don't hear her voice anymore. What's over here? And I look back and you're gone, and now I'm
Gone.
in
And
the
it's-
middle of nowhere.
And it's at that moment that you realize one of the problems is, because you weren't watching where you were going, you collide with a wall of muscle. You find yourself standing directly in front of, having just bumped into and feeling more like you ran into a wall, a very tall junior who is extremely broad-shouldered. He barely fits in his Letterman jacket, which is red with the yellow leather coming down the sides, and he's got the big letter P for Paradise on the thing. He's got several pins. You recognize this individual more by reputation than anything else. You have just slammed into Refrigerator Terry, who plays on
Love this so
the football team,
much.
and he's not alone. Standing next to him is Brad Dawson, who is the quarterback, and standing next to Brad is Rita Williams, who is head cheerleader. Brad is not very tall. He's actually only about 5'10", and he looks even smaller next to Refrigerator Terry. And he's got the classic blonde hair, blue eyes, the lithe athletic build. And Rita is a little bit about an inch taller than Brad is. And she is, of course, decked out in all the latest fashion, and has her very bright red hair pulled back into a ponytail. And she's just kind of chewing on some gum, just smacking it, popping little bubbles, doing that thing where she just kind of stands there, kind of. And
Oh God, yep.
Now that's all I
Accurate.
see, Carrie.
You have a type. Sorry.
Apparently. Apparently I'm transposing all of our Pathfinder NPCs into high school students.
Fair.
So you suddenly bang into and realize you're standing next to the 3 most popular athletes in the school.
Well, hey there, hey Terry, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. First day jitters.
Hey! This is Brad speaking. He goes, hey, no worries, no worries. Look, it's actually pretty good timing that you showed up here. I was kind of hoping you could help us settle a debate.
A debate?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You look like
sure,
somebody who
I'm
would be good at mediating a
debate.
debate between 2 opposing points of view.
Okay, yeah, sure.
So
Don't do. Oh.
the problem is, Rita here doesn't think you'll fit into one of these lockers.
Fuck off, Ted.
But I think that you will. We're just going to need you to help settle the argument. Refrigerator, you are suddenly lifted off the ground by your shoulders. You hear the sound of a locker being opened. And Refrigerator Terry unceremoniously pushes you into the locker. And the door slams shut. And you hear the 3 of them laughing as they start walking away. From outside, we see that the locker you have been shoved into is locker number 666.
Damn it. Wow.
Yeah.
So the camera cuts in, kind of pushes in and goes through the little vent where we can see the little light coming through in like slats across your face. Extreme close-up as you're shoved in this locker. What do you do?
I think for a moment, like, there's that moment where he's struggling and he's fighting and he realizes that he's not as strong as these kids. And he gets chucked in. And then the door closes. And there is this moment of pause as he is crammed shoulder to toe into this locker, because I imagine it's not very big, but it also is more theatrical in terms of like it can actually fit someone, because if you've ever been around an actual locker that isn't past a certain date, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty much, I'm certain, a deliberate choice to make lockers that size.
He sits there in silence for a minute. Yeah, and then he just starts to pound on the door and like try to scream, try to call, try to ask for help. But everyone's at lunch. Like, based on the scheduling, everyone should be at the lunch area. And probably, unless he's lucky, no one's coming to hear him. So he's just out 2-3 minutes maybe. And then eventually he stops and then like tucks himself into like fetal position. And just stays there staring at the little grates in the locker until someone
Roll me
until someone comes to get.
Roll me a D100.
Yeah, absolutely. Gives me a reason to pull out. Oh god, they're falling everywhere. Oh no.
While Chad is finding dice, check us out on teespring.com. At teespring.com, we take your time because I'm in this now. At teespring.com, we have all kinds of cool logos like this one, which is a cool PE t-shirt logo. We have the vintage Paradise logo. We have all kinds of cool class logos. We got the cool tavern sign logo and so many more. You can get them on tank tops, hoodies, t-shirts, coffee mugs, and so much more. Teespring.com. Just search Mini Terrain Domain.
Hats coming soon, maybe.
Hats perhaps coming soon.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. 18.
Okay. We're gonna cut away from Oak in the locker for a moment as we head into the lunchroom. And let's see. Jessica. I'm gonna start with you as you head into the cafeteria. You see where you enter into the cafeteria. There's actually a secondary door, and I don't think this is actually depicted on the map of the school because I didn't think to put it there. The secondary map actually shows the kitchen, so we'll go with that because part of that is where the kids that are going to go through the lunch line. This is where you have your more traditional school lunch menu stuff. Kids that bring their own lunch or want to go through the short order lines go in through one of the two southernmost exits. Jessica, did you bring your lunch? Do you go to the short order line, or do you have? Do you go through the longer line?
I feel like Jessica brought her lunch, seeing what happened at the beginning of the season. Definitely a brown paper bag lunch.
Okay.
That she has decorated with stickers.
Perfect. As you walk in, when you head in that door, to your right is where the kids will exit from that line. There's some racks where kids are expected to put their trays. There's a couple trash cans there. Sort of as you're looking in, so you're looking to the west, on that corner, northernmost corner of the cafeteria, that's where the short order line is. And then around the edges, particularly on the west wall and that southern section of wall, there's a whole series of booths that are rapidly filling up. The rest of the cafeteria is filled with what you all have coined as prison tables. And I'm gonna make it one step worse. Some of the tables are that faux wood with the faux wood benches that are sort of attached.
Oh,
and some of the tables are older. They're like a white surface, and they have blue round plastic, like circular seats that you sit on that are attached. First question, Jessica, where do you try to go sit? Would you go sit with other plastics, populars, the jocks, the loner weirdos, the mathletes, the burnouts,
or your bestest best friends in the whole wide world?
Or do you look around? Or do you look around for the ones you know from the previous iteration?
Molly Ringwald moment here.
Yeah, Jessica is going to look around. She's specifically looking for Billy, if she can find him.
Billy, did you bring your lunch? Go through the lunch line or go through the short order line?
He's in the line to grab lunch, but he wants to move quickly, so he probably went to the short line.
Okay. So this is, we kind of joked about this last week, but this is where you can get those sort of crispy golden burritos a small, what is like a 6-ounce chocolate shake. These, in my mind, what are the best chocolate chip cookies in the world. You can get a piece of that.
Fire, baby.
You can get a piece of that rectangular pizza that has the shimmering pool of grease on the top.
The pizza's only on Fridays, man. Come on.
Pizza's every day.
Like that.
Pizza's only on Fridays if you go through the main lunch line. You can have pizza every day if you want in the short order line.
That's a fancy school.
Damn
You're
right
at a
it is.
school
It's
called an academy.
We pay good money to go here.
Jessica, you see Billy standing in line. The line has, to help keep it moving quicker, the counter that sort of opens up. It's one of those things where there's like a door that slides up, rolls up, and then you go up and you get your food and you pay for it. A typical meal of like a drink, fries, 2 cookies, and whatever you choose, like a pizza, burrito, or whatever, is going to cost you about $1.10 in 1985. You see Billy in line. It's split into 3 lines to help it move quicker. Billy's probably just a few kids away from actually being able to order his food. Do you wait for him to get out of the line before going to take a seat?
No, I don't think she wants to like look like she's waiting for anyone. So she is going to try and maybe see one of the others if they're there.
1, 2,
yeah.
3. I just rolled randomly. The next person you would spot, and Jeremy, you can tell us where you are, either coming in or already in, or what line you're going through or whatever. Laz would be the next person you see.
Okay. So Laz is already paid for his lunch, and he's just grabbed like a burger or something that he can hold in his hand, and he has a crystal Pepsi in his other hand, a can. Tucking into the pocket of his jeans.
Yes.
And he is headed for the nearest exit because he's going outside to smoke.
Conveniently,
So cool.
that southwestern corner is the unofficial smoking corner. It's the one
He
where
wants to be about 20 feet away from that.
everybody that smokes, because there are some students, seniors, that legally can smoke, but everybody knows that all the smokers go there, and they kind of keep an eye out so nobody gets in trouble. But it's kind of like, as long as they stay on that corner, the administration maybe goes, once every 3 or 4 weeks, they go in and just for a show of doing something, somebody might show up. Billy and Laz, because you went through the short order line, there's something you would have noticed, especially since you've already gone through, Laz. When you head up to the counter and you make your purchase, the lunch lady looks very familiar. It looks exactly like Christina Page.
Oh.
You see a second lunch lady who looks just like Tammy Page. And you can glimpse in the long line that Nikki Page is taking money and helping serve students. The Page sisters are the lunch ladies.
That's awesome.
I think
Jessica-
Laz does like a double take. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
When I go to check out, is there any sign of recognition, acknowledgement? I hate to say it, intelligence beyond lunch ladies. I'm not trying to insult, those that choose to do that as a profession, but,
How about
just looking to
interest beyond lunch lady?
yeah, there you go.
So
There seem to be more to them that would be reminiscent of the previous iteration.
Or twinkle. Something.
Yeah.
As you sort of you pay for your food, you get your food, there's that moment where you just kind of hesitate. You're waiting to see if she recognizes you. And there's this awkward moment where the two of you are holding each other's gaze for 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and she finally says, "Is there something else you want, kid?"
Sorry, I thought I recognized
Hey.
you from somewhere.
You've been going to this school for what, 5 years? You probably recognize me from right here.
I'm already walking away at that point, you know.
I love this iteration of them.
You just
This
hear,
is awesome.
next. I mean, her voice definitely tells you that when they're serving, or when they're not serving food, they're definitely in the back kitchen smoking while they're making dinner, making the food for kids. They're almost like Marge Simpson's sisters.
I love awesome.
Jessica,
Awesome.
I believe you were also going to react.
Yeah, Jessica's gonna follow Laz. Actually.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
okay. Billy, as you turn around, you see out the window as Laz has just headed out, and you see Jessica, brown bag in hand, heading right for the exit as well to head outside.
Well, I'll just shrug my shoulder and follow along.
Rosie,
Yeah.
what's your entrance to the lunchroom?
So Rosie goes through the short order line, and I imagine that when she comes into the actual lunchroom, her tray is like loaded with just piled. She took like 3 of those burritos, like a chicken sandwich, also obviously a Crystal Pepsi, 2 chocolate milks, and a salad. And she comes into this lunchroom and is just kind of looking around for kind of anybody she knows. And she sees Laz go, I imagine, and knows that he's out there to smoke and doesn't want to get caught because her mom would fucking kill her. And she sees Jessica go and is like, shit, like all her friends are fucking going to this place she can't really go. And then she starts looking around for Oak and probably can't find him and just figures he's probably behind her in the line somewhere. So I guess probably for now she would go and sit with any baseball boys that are around. She might sit with what's Jonesy if he's in the cafeteria. I forgot my best friend's name. So if he's there, she'll go sit with him.
Yeah, I think you would hear, before you even clock Jonesy, you hear, Gunnison, what you looking around for? It's the same table.
Who's this?
It's Jonesy.
Oh, it's Jonesy. And I would turn and I was like, oh yeah, hey, I was just heading over there and I didn't see you. I thought you were out sick or something.
On the first day of school? No way. I'm not doing anything this year that's going to mess with eligibility.
No, we should not do anything to mess with eligibility. The deck is stacked, as they say, and Rosie kind of like elbows him, but her hands are full with her tray, so she just kind of like bumps him while at the same time balancing still. And then she would just kind of laugh and suggest they go sit down.
And well, he's already seated at the table. It's one of the wood ones.
Okay.
And
As he mentions eligibility, she kind of does glance out that door one last time to see her cool friends out there smoking.
Coop, you hear somebody shout, Gunnison, over here, and you see Rosie with a tray full of food. You clock, at this point, you clock Jessica heading out the door, you wouldn't have seen Laz and Billy head out. With you and Rosie being the last two to enter, neither of you see Oak anywhere.
Coop definitely notices that Oak, even though he's also a little man, Coop also notices that Oak is nowhere to be seen. He sees Jessica going out the door to the cool kids area. He sees Rosie sitting down with her friend. But Coop has gotten into the lunchroom a little bit late because he finally figured out how to open his freaking locker.
Oh, thank God.
And and he goes and stands in the short order line and just kind of looks up at the board with all of the options, and then the church chorus goes off in the background. Oh. And he's like, oh my God, there's so much stuff. He's got a $5 in his pocket, so Coop, when he gets to the front of the line, is gonna be like, I need a burger and the fries and the shake and one of those little pizzas.
Where are you gonna pack all that away? Kind of a small package to be putting so much food in it.
Right here. Does Coop notice that it's
yes!
Does Coop notice that it's that
it's
one
absolutely
of the Page
it's
sisters?
Christina.
Yeah.
Self-confident king. Let's go.
You should know that, Christina.
Oh my God, what a little gentleman. I love it.
She looks at you for a moment and she just goes, "You're a first year, aren't you?"
Yep.
All right, well, I've learned as much as I want to know about you. Move along.
Okay, I'll be seeing more of you later.
I can't wait.
Coop's gonna take his tray, and he's immediately just gonna beeline over to Rosie's table.
Okay.
I've imprinted on you at this point.
That's adorable. You're a little duckling to my mama Mallard. I am in.
Biology
I am
and now.
fucking in.
I would like to point out that for Laz to head outside, nobody bats an eye. For Billy to head outside, nobody really bats an eye. There are people watching Jessica, surprised that she is heading outside.
Something must have happened over
and
the
I think
summer.
Rosie, you would probably notice that there is a booth along the window that has a few of the plastic beauties sitting at it. And they're already starting to whisper among themselves.
Rosie kind of just like rolls her eyes in disgust at that scene, and I imagine that's when Coop walks up.
Well, actually, right before Coop walks up, you hear one of them. She's
oh fuck.
M, tell me one of your plastic beauties names.
Oh, good, a name. I love names. I'm totally not. I'm thinking I have one. It's right here.
Meredith.
I would love
Perfect.
to help
I
you.
was thinking.
That'll do.
Excellent, Meredith. Yup.
Miko's reading my mind tonight. I'm a little scared.
It's like Jesus, it's like a magic trick. Fuck.
Meredith Haas. It's a Dutch name. Good West Michigan Dutch name. H-A-S. You hear Meredith Haas whispering to the other plastic beauties at the table, but she's stage whispering.
Oh God.
She's doing
Is
it
she
in a way
cheating out?
that she's not trying to be super quiet. The other girls they're kind of looking over their shoulders and looking like, what's she doing? Why she didn't even look over here at us? And Meredith Haas just goes, I don't know. She just, ever since her dad left, I heard he was sleeping with his secretary, ran off with her, took all the family's money. That's why they live over in Starlight. One of the other girls was like, oh, his secretary? And then the hubbub just starts. And that's when Coop shows up at your table.
Oh, Rosie, hi! He sets his tray down, doesn't even ask to be invited. Rosie, hi! How's it going?
Hi, Coop. It's going great, man. Have a seat.
Well, did you see all the food that they have? Oh my gosh. I can't believe they've got such good options in at the academy. Like, wow, this is so much better than elementary school. And hey, have you seen Oak?
And Rosie kind of looks over her shoulder one more time at these bitches, and then she looks back at Oak, and she's like, Coop, shit, that's the first time I've done it. I've never done it.
That's a bingo square, and not because of me.
I did it. It's happened. It's been so long. Anyway, to Coop, and she'd be like, well, he wasn't like in the line with you. Like I kind of lost him in the crowd. I just thought he was behind me a little ways.
No, I haven't seen him like all day. Maybe he went outside. Why is everybody going outside?
Coop, I'll be right back. And Rosie does Rosie kind of have a bead on fucking Fridge and his whole crew?
Nope. Well,
no.
Hold on.
Does she kind of know their fucking vibe?
I would
Enough
say
to know they might see him as a target, or no?
Brad Dawson, Rita Williams, and Refrigerator Terry are what we would call today, well, they're not like in the true sense of the word a throuple, but they might as well be. The three of them are always seen together. Brad and Rita are definitely dating, and Terry is just their muscle that he's half guard dog, half muscle. Okay. Definitely all brute. And they have a reputation for they're the bullies that do stuff like this, but because they're the head cheerleader and the all-star quarterback, and they're highly charismatic, they just always seem to get away with it.
Fuckers. Rosie would that's awesome.
Before you do whatever you're gonna do,
okay.
As Coop comes and sits at the table, you hear next to you, Jonesy just goes, "Hey, Gunnarsson, what gives? Did you like join the Big Brother program, Big Sister program, whatever, this summer? Who's the kid?"
Oh, sorry, Coop. This is my buddy Jonesy. He and I, we play baseball together. I'm teaching him how to fucking pitch. He didn't know anything without me, and she like punches him in the ribs.
Wow, Rosie's got to be a good teacher. She throws really well. Hi, I'm Kenny Cooper. You can call me Coop.
Does he put out his prosthetic hand?
Yeah,
because he's such a badass and a confident king.
You see Jonesy starting to reach forward, and when he sees that it's this prosthetic hand, for just a second he goes, "Whoa, that's pretty badass, Coop, you said?" And he kind of takes it without even no hesitation. After that, he just takes the hook and just kind of shakes it vigorously.
Yeah, my man's like Luke Skywalker. He's a total badass. He's gonna be our friend now.
Coop Skywalker, I like it.
And Rosie kind of like bumps Coop. And then, may I do one more thing, or do we have...
Yeah, I was going to see what it was you were... Because I wanted to interject that before you were attempting to do whatever you were going to do.
Okay. I want to go over to Terry and Brad and Rita's table. And I'm not being aggressive. I'm gently looking at them out of the side of my eye. But I am going up there.
Yeah, you know that they exclusively occupy the corner booth.
Okay.
There's a couple of the other football players and cheerleaders that are sitting there as well. but the three of them are sort of holding court there.
Okay. So I would go up and I would just be like, yeah, there's a fucking velvet rope and everything. I would go up and I would be like, Brad.
As
Terry.
you get there, Terry stands up to his full height in front of you.
Jesus Christ. What are you doing, man? I'm just gonna come over to say hi. Are you gonna kick my ass, Fridge? Think you could get in some trouble.
I don't hit girls.
Yeah, perfect. Anyway, Brad. And she just kind of like leans around the massive frame that is Fridge, and she would just be like, you haven't seen my little buddy Oak, have you? About this high, leg braces, super nice kid if you got to talk to him.
How would I know? There's like 100 new little sixth graders running around this place. Everywhere you turn, you got to watch out you don't step on one of them.
And Rosie would kind of lean in, and she would just be like, "Would you do something? Were you an asshole? Did you shove him in a fucking locker or something?"
On the first day of school?
Yes, that is exactly the kind of asshole thing you would do.
Why are you so worried about this little kid for, Gunnarsson? You want to add him to your collection? And he kind of points over to the table where you were just sitting, where Coop's sitting there. You running some kind of a Paradise orphanage or something for all these little kids?
When he says orphanage, Rosie's eyes like fucking light up. And she kind of like bumps the table that they're at. Like, she's standing pretty close to it already, and she just kind of bumps it so maybe a milk falls over or something. And she just kind of looks at him and says, "I could get you detention for the rest of your natural life." What locker is he in?
Brad looks at his watch and he goes, "Barely 3 hours into the day before you pulled the Principal Gunnarsson card. I'm impressed."
Mm-hmm.
I would like
Which
you.
locker is he in, Brad?
I would like you to roll an opposed grit check.
Ooh. Okay. Here I go.
I gotta find his stats real quick.
We're not allowed to give pops anymore.
No,
I can use them.
Pops can be used, or
Don't
any of
you
you
worry.
can say use pops.
Oh yeah, we don't
from
have
the pool.
personal pops.
Nope, no personal pops.
Oh.
Let's see, what's his
Oh!
grit?
Here's a question we never asked you, Jake. Can we put our personal pops into the pool?
I believe what I told you was all personal pops are vaporized.
Banished.
Boo.
He did say
Because
that.
I didn't want to deal with that.
Melted.
I would like to
I'm gonna
remind you, as we are doing these rolls, keep in mind your ranks. If you think a rank, I don't have your character sheets yet, so I don't know exactly what ranks you have, but if you think your rank might have a good or bad.
Let me check, actually.
What ranks do you have?
I am rank and tank. Those are my ranks. One of my rank is rank. Sorry.
And then
Hold on.
tank.
Yes.
I would
Big,
say
physically imposing or strong.
Yeah, I would say you're, because of your rank and tank, and you're looking to apply for this to benefit you in this situation, you will get the +2 bonus to your roll for your rank and tank.
And I am allowed to use the pool of pops?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what they're there for.
With a +2, and I'm going to use 2 pops to make it a 15.
Where'd my freaking die go? Okay.
Feel safe with a 15.
I'm going to roll.
That's a good number.
Thanks, guys. I feel
I
like I'm on
didn't-
Family Feud when they're like, good answer.
Did not explode.
Give me 15.
So that means...
Everybody says?
We surveyed 100 people and they
You-
said,
have beat him by 10.
oh,
You succeed smoothly and easily. So basically, he says that line about barely 3 hours in and you're already pulling the principal card.
Mm-hmm.
But you see him looking nervously around. And it's at that moment, at the far side by the entrance, you see your mom, Principal Gunnarsson, and Vice Principal Sharp walk in. And one or two other teachers are in there as well. They're just doing the standing over by what will be the entrance, but as lunch progresses, shifts into the exit. As they're just kind of, it's first day of school, so they're kind of keeping an eye on things. And Brad goes, "Look, I didn't know he was one of your friends. It's an innocent mistake.
Yeah. Now you know.
You might want to hurry up, because who knows how long he's gonna last." Put him in locker 666. And I'll say this for
Rosie
the audience's
nods.
sake as well, because we only said it in chat. Everybody in school knows nobody will take locker 666. It's that superstitious, nobody wants the locker. Not even the goth emo weirdo kids. Nobody wants that locker.
Like a curse.
As he says, I put him in locker 666. We're going to cut back to locker 666, where you've been in this locker now for probably about 10 minutes. And you hear heels on the tile floor approaching. Somebody is walking in the hallway outside where this locker is.
I'll say this, Jake. I'll say at some point, to distract myself from the claustrophobia that I'm most definitely having, he puts on his Walkman and the song shifts to "Don't You Forget About Me"
Oh God.
as it starts to play, and it's probably been like, there's a list of songs in the Rolodex that are on a loop, but he's just sort of like using the songs to put himself at peace so that he doesn't freak out and have hyperventilate and have a panic attack. And then eventually the heels clicking across the ground, he hears that under the cans of the headphones, and he just like looks out the slits to see if he can, like, he pushes himself up against the door to see if he can see like who's in there, right?
I would like you to roll a D100, please. This is a classic.
It's my favorite thing.
A classic Jake D100 sliding scale. I've rolled my number. There
Okay,
is a
okay.
possibility of something happening, and I'm going to say in this moment that it is a... Oh, it's right here. Hold on. There is a 10% chance of something happening. I'm not going to tell you if you want it to happen or not, which means if you roll within
No worries.
5% either side of what I rolled, the thing happens.
Yep. Okay. Well, I rolled and I got a 25. So we'll see where
I
that
rolled a
goes.
96, so with the rollover, that puts you on the other side. That puts you at closest 24 away. So the thing does not happen. So you're peering out this locker, and you see that somebody's what you see is sort of the shadow cast on the wall as somebody's, and it's one of those where the shadow kind of splits because, you know, it's the overhead lights and multiple shadows, so the shadow kind of splits as they get between two lights, and then they stop just shy of you being able to actually see who's there. Do you say or do anything?
Hello? Hello? Is anybody there?
You hear the shuffling of feet as somebody moves right up next to the lockers. There's a hesitation, then you hear, "Hello?" It's a man's voice.
Yeah, hi. I've been. It happened again. Can you open it, please?
Before
Jeremy.
I open it, I know this is going to sound weird. Who is this?
Full name, Orson Axel Kubrick, sir. If most of the kids call me Oak. I don't know how long I've been in here anymore.
Do you have your student ID?
I think so. Hold on.
Because if you don't, you're
hold
shit out of luck. You're staying
You
in there.
stay in the locker. Yeah.
Hey, you're an outsider.
You
Outsiders
slide
stay
it
in the
through
locker.
the fucking little slits.
You belong in this locker.
Listen,
I look. No, this dude. Oak has a goddamn lanyard, dude. It's like one of those little like drawstring lanyards, and he'll like
fit it through the hole. There you go. Hey,
you put the
just
whole
take a look.
lanyard through?
It's all right.
no,
Just the
just
string.
just
Just the
no,
ID?
I like like it's one of those the zip tie string
Okay.
ones. Just the ID.
There you go, sir.
The ID is snatched out of your
Seventh
hand,
grader.
and there's a moment.
Mhm.
All right. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you're actually a student. But if you try
Thank
anything, you don't want to know what will happen.
I should probably ask, who are you? Now you have me questioning things.
Well, once I know that you actually are Orson Axel Kubrick, and then that sentence just hangs, and then you hear the combination being spun. Not like somebody's fidgeting around with it, it's somebody knows the combination to this locker. I'm opening the door. And he lifts up on the little handle, and you see a man literally jump backwards and go like this. And the man you see is Dr. K.
Yes, dude.
Okay. Whoa. Hold on now.
How many? Step out slowly. Let me see your hands and your feet.
Dude, I'm not gonna kill you with
Just-
a number 2 pencil, dude. What are you talking about?
Just step out of the locker. Slowly.
Okay, fine. All right.
He thinks you're a
Thank
demon.
you for.
As you
you for
step out of the
saving me.
locker and sort of disentangle yourself, you see him go,
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 1, 2. 2 arms, 2 legs. Turn around.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Turn around.
No, okay.
All right. No tail.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
Good.
No
Now-
tail. What the hell? What?
All right.
Sorry.
He relaxes. Sorry about that. You can never be too sure. Every precaution must be taken. Here is your student ID. Now,
Okay.
what were you doing in the locker? And what were you doing in this locker? This is the first moment Oak, that you realize what locker you
Yeah.
were shoved into. You
Oh,
you realize that this is the cursed locker, as it's known.
The Hellmouth? Yeah. Absolutely. The Hellmouth.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, not the hellmouth. God. Okay.
Sorry if
Yeah,
I scared you.
Some jerks at lunch. No, it's okay. Just some jerks at lunch shoved me in a locker and they left me here.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
that shouldn't have happened. And I'm sorry that happened to you. Now, was it Orson, was it? You
Yeah. Orson Axel Cooper.
looks at his watch. And then he lifts up his other sleeve and looks at another
Uh-huh.
watch. And he reaches inside his lab coat and he pulls out a pocket watch. And he goes, all right. You got about 40 minutes of your lunch left at this point. So I suggest you get down there and get some food in your belly because you got a whole afternoon of classes. And try not to get yourself pushed into lockers anymore, especially on your first day.
Yeah. I will.
Kind of looks over the man.
Do we know each other at all? Like, I don't think I've ever. I feel like I saw you first day.
I'm a
Orientation?
teacher here at Paradise Academy, and so it's likely you've seen me around the halls if you haven't had me as your teacher in any class. And I know
No,
now that you
you're
are
right, you're right. Okay.
Orson something.
Let's just keep it at Oak. How about that? How about that?
Oak.
Let's just Oak. Be best.
I don't get it.
Yeah, Oak.
Oh, don't worry. I don't understand half the things you kids say in these halls sometimes. All right. I need to get back to my work. You get down to the lunchroom and stay out of the lockers. And he glances
You
at the
those
watch
boys
on
to
his
not
right
put me
hand.
in one, and then maybe we will.
He glances at the watch on his right hand and suddenly goes, "Oh," and just takes off at a brisk walk, seemingly in the same direction he came from.
My substrate is dissolving. I have to go.
He's just like mind boggled, and he is absolutely like embarrassed and just disheveled. So when the little man comes back to the cafeteria, it's like he has to get his food all over again, and it's this combination of like freaking corn dog, pudding cup, the fries, just things that he had gotten earlier, but he has to do it all over again. Yeah, it's a whole thing. And then he looks around for his friends, and I think that's when he would like probably see Coop at some point, or start walking.
I
back
think the
into
first person you
lunchroom
see,
and maybe catch Rosie.
The first person you see is probably Rosie, who, after her confrontation with Brad and them, is probably turned and was purposefully walking towards the exit. And that's when you see Oak, maybe looking a little disheveled, coming in with his lunch, kind of looking around.
Hey, Oak. You okay?
Hi. No, I'm not. I will be though.
Rosie puts her arm
First
around
day.
him, and she jostles him a little bit, and he's like, "I heard you got up close and personal with the Hellmouth." And then she kind of shows
Yeah.
him. She has her mom's master key, and she's like, "I was gonna come get you, I swear."
We're gonna do that for me?
Yeah,
That's
you got
really
out
nice.
quicker than I could get you. Did you escape? Did you have some cool little gadget or something? That seems right up your alley.
No. Oh, Man, that would have been such a cooler way of doing things, but no, I sat in there for like 10 minutes, and then like a staff member came by, and he unlocked it for me. He also may have wanted to fight me because he like got into like the karate stance and stuff.
No
It
shit.
was a weird vibe. I'm gonna be
Who?
honest, it's a weird vibe.
Which teacher was it, Oak?
You know a lot of teachers. I'm imagining you probably do.
Yeah. I know them all.
Is the teacher with like the lab coat and the teacher with the lab coat and multiple watches?
Did he have like a lot of? That was Dr. K. That's he did like karate.
Yeah, lots of watches.
No shit.
He made like this karate stance pose, like I was gonna fight him or something, and I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna fight you. What am I gonna fight you with? My suspenders? I'm gonna pull them off and like use them like nunchucks? No."
He's kind of a nerd. You probably could have kicked his ass, Oak. Come on over. We got about a half an hour left of lunch.
Okay.
Rosie, real quick, because of something you inserted, I have here.
Shut up, Jeremy. Shut the fuck up, Jeremy.
I have here a two-sided die.
That's called a coin.
Skull or bones?
Oh, no. Don't make me do this again. Don't. No.
Listen,
no,
best
no,
things happen.
no.
There's no ice. There's no
No.
platforms.
It'll
It's
be
fine.
fine. It'll be fine. Skull, please. Skull.
It's bones.
Fuck me. I hate it.
I'll tell you in a minute what that means. Regarding the master key of your mother's that you took,
Yeah.
did you take the actual master key or did you make a copy of it?
I think Rosie made a copy of it many years ago, and it's actually for like a not naughty reason. For like the first 2 years she went here, she couldn't fucking remember her locker combination to save her life, and the best like non-embarrassing way she could think to solve this issue was to get her mom's master locker key and just use that instead. She still doesn't know her locker combination.
So
because now she doesn't have to.
because of the roll of the die, and I'm not gonna know you. I'm gonna yes but you on that.
Okay.
That's exactly what happened. But somewhere in the shuffle, before your first day of school, you were not able to find your copy. Which means you had to take your mom's actual master key.
Yeah, okay. That's probably...
You inserted the key. I wanted to have a little bit of a question of whether, we'll have a little bit of spice to it. Who knows where it's going to go.
Okay. Good.
Speaking
This
of
is the key.
Speaking of spice, we're going to step outside to see what Laz, Billy, and Jessica are getting up to.
Spicy.
After the break. I realize it's
All
just
right.
about break time. So when we come back from break, we're going to switch over to the outside kids and see what's going on there.
Circle.
The outside kids.
Yeah, the outside kids.
God damn it.
So yeah, we're going to take about right about a 10-minute break. Stick around, or we will be back with more Paradise Academy. Actual cool kids, like you know what they are. I don't know what they are. I was never a cool kid. I didn't become a cool kid until I became an adult. Okay. We are stepping outside. Laz, you are at the southwest corner of the building, just around the corner where everybody hangs out to smoke. Some people are eating lunch. There's always somebody that kind of sticks. They stand in a position where they can kind of just shift their weight and kind of peer around the corner just to make sure no teachers are coming. And You are standing there. Let's see. I'd say there's maybe half a dozen kids, a couple other loners. At this point, it's almost exclusively loners and stoners. And one of them, a 10th grader, wears a black leather jacket, a Misfits t-shirt. He's got long straight hair, and he's got in his left ear he's got like a sword earring hanging down. He's the one currently standing there. He leans over and he goes, does a double take, triple take. Yo, that stapler kid's coming back here.
Laz kind of like leans around the same corner that he just kind of like looked around. Fuck.
And as you see Billy approaching, you see the door behind Billy kind of pushes open, and you see Jessica step out, turn, and starts walking right behind Billy towards you.
Whoa.
Fuck again.
Fucking again.
At this point, Billy, you see Laz peek around the corner. So I will open the scene to the 2, then 3 of you.
So to be fair, I mean I have no problems chasing down Laz either. But I had remembered you saying like, oh, Jessica started following Laz, and then I was following her.
I thought Laz was no, I thought you went out first, or you went out second.
Okay.
Because Jessica was following you. I think.
Jessica was following Laz.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I got
Jessica,
I got that mixed up.
Yeah, Jessica went out to follow Laz.
All right.
Yeah.
Forget Coop and Oak. It's gonna be Billy and Laz now.
The stoner leans around and he does his triple take, and he goes, "Yo, one of those really popular girls is coming back here, man."
That's awesome.
Again, he leans around the corner. Fuck.
Then you see the door behind Jessica open, and you see Billy step out and start following Jessica.
Fuck again.
Stapler kid.
And the stapler kid.
That's awesome.
So, Laz, I imagine you kind of are either peeking back behind the wall, and maybe as you're just like lighting up a cigarette, or lighting whatever up, Jessica comes in and she looks at you and her arms are crossed and she does this. And just is like looking at you very expectantly.
He kind of like turns the cigarette filter first and like tries to hand it to her.
Yeah, she is going to take it, and you can see this is the first time. Like immediately, she like puts too much of her mouth on the filter, like takes too big of an inhale, like it's all like the filter's wet when she gives it back to you, and she starts coughing.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I was gonna say, I was gonna make you make a grit check to see how
So
you just
cool.
start.
And voluntarily fail.
Yeah, voluntary fail.
Yeah.
Just start hacking.
Good thing I didn't go with the detail I was planning on, because I was gonna do like Marlboro Reds, like unfiltered. And,
Oh
like,
god.
they would probably just kill Jessica?
Literally kill her.
Just right next to you, the stoner kid. He just goes.
Damn it.
She like when you like wave it away, she like looks at it like with this, she's still coughing, like face turning red. She's like, this is disgusting.
It wasn't until you took it.
Why do you even do this? She like looks at it, but then after a while, she just like takes another like slightly less.
Does she suddenly overcompensate and just do that?
yeah, just like pretending to inhale, like doing like the shoulder thing.
So smooth. Damn it.
Just like the
Laz
Marble
has already
Man.
taken another one out and lit it for himself. He doesn't want that one back. You're good.
This is the 80s, so I imagine it's the, you got the kind of lipstick that isn't necessarily like waterproof or whatever, so you've already got like the lipstick marks on the cigarette. Which, as Laz is lighting up the second cigarette, is when you come around and see Jessica holding a cigarette and hacking.
When I round the corner, like, is it a look of displeasure coming from Laz? Like, do you care one way or the other?
I don't know that it's displeasure. I think maybe up until this moment, Laz has not really made up his mind whether or not the things he remember are real or not. But the fact that the two of you have just showed up like in like sequential order, that's enough for him to kind of no longer really doubt what he's remembering. So I think that's probably more, I don't know what that emotion would be, but that's more kind of what is playing out on his face.
So he'll, smile at Jessica, and then quickly look to Laz. Look, I don't know where or when, but I think we need to get together and have a conversation.
About what exactly? He kind of like shoots a side glance at the stoner.
The stoner's just sitting there, just looking back and forth between the two of you and glancing at Jessica occasionally and just... I don't even know what's happening, man.
Jessica looks at him. Are you like smoking something different?
I think it's skunks out here.
Yeah.
Winston.
She like looks to Laz like with this like confused like look.
You probably don't want any of that.
She's gonna hold out her hand to this kid.
Well, or not,
Oh.
Like the rest of the day. Really
Jessica's jumping in with both feet today.
Every
Yeah.
representative from Dare is frowning.
He...
Disappointed.
When you do that, he also, I kind of want to change his appearance just a little bit. He is wearing the leather jacket, but he has a denim jacket over top of it with the torn sleeves, and he's got the long hair, but he's got the weird like bangs cut there. He kind of looks like, I cannot remember this kid's name, but there was this red-headed skinny kid that was in movies in the 80s and 90s that was sort of like...
Was
like
it the
that.
redheaded kid from Terminator 2?
Yes! Yes! It was Ed Furlong's friend. That's exactly who I'm picturing.
How do you have the same brain?
Like the
That's 100%, because I think I just described his look in that movie. When you hold out your hand, Jessica, he just goes, holy shit, what's even happening?
She
And-
like gives him a smile, like this, like the smile that she knows like gets her what she wants when she.
he,
bat
despite
your eyes,
himself, but despite himself, you just see him turn like 3 shades of red, and he just goes and hands you the cigarette.
Good for you.
Laz goes, and just maybe like, just less. You know, less.
Less.
So Jessica takes an inhale. It is not as much as the first one, but it's still sends her like doubled over coughing as it does.
Oh yeah, this is super harsh.
Yeah.
This is not the same thing that Laz is smoking.
No. So she immediately is doubled over coughing, but hands this back.
I was 100% about to say almost the exact same words, Jeremy. This is the 80s. It's absolutely skunk weed.
Oh, yeah. It's not good.
Yeah, it's terrible.
You're going to feel this for the next 15 minutes, and that's about it. Right till the end of lunch.
Perfect.
So, as Jessica is apparently experimenting with vices, are you continuing to talk to Laz?
Sure. So, to answer your question, Laz, everything this past summer, I mean, I can't go into more detail than that here.
So,
but I mean, if you're not into it, that's sure.
So you like that was all real? No, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way all of that was real.
I will give you the most serious deadpan look and just not say a word.
So like the whole
Yep.
moon and silver and like mirrors. He looks at Jessica.
Jessica's eyes are red, but she nods.
Fuck again.
Turns to Jessica, and again, not here, but when we have a moment, I feel like we need to talk privately. And
So, like the others, Oak and Coop, Rosie, he's like saying their names like with a little bit of hesitation, almost like it's the first time he's uttered them.
yeah. But this is, I don't know. And he looks at Laz in the face, looks at Jess, again, smiles, and then just heads inside. And by this point in time, like, everybody is already like paired up, so like, Billy just grabs a seat wherever, and houses down, his lunch before, period's over.
So you leave them and just go back in the lunchroom?
Yep.
Laz, Jessica, what do you do when Billy leaves?
So Laz looks at Jessica, just kind of shakes his head for a second, like almost with like a 1,000-yard stare. And then he just reaches over and he takes the joint from her and takes a hit. And he's like, fuck. So, where's Anne?
You see for a moment that, like, a look of almost panic crosses Jessica's face. Like this, like her eyes kind of widen for a minute at you. And she kind of stumbles over her words a few times. She's gone. And she's not coming back. She says very quickly after.
Okay. That's a good thing.
She kind of shrugs. It's like better than there being two of us, right? She kind of laughs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for most people. He says, and he kind of like shoots another look at the back of Billy as he's like walking off.
She, like Jessica, you see, like she suddenly looks just very, like she wants to say something. Like, you know, when that person's like, she like inhales and just. This is like all really fucked up, she says, as she kind of sways back on her feet, finally.
He takes the joint again and he points. There's your fucking answer. And he takes another hit.
There's probably about 10 minutes left in lunch before the bell for the 5-minute bell to get the fourth period goes off. When Billy comes walking in, Billy, do you look for the others, or do you just grab a table?
I grab a table, and you know, if somebody decides to join me, I'm certainly not gonna have a fuss. But I'm not looking for anyone specifically.
Billy,
I'm closest with Laz and Jessica, so those are the only two people, and neither of them seemed in any way like on the same page as I am. So I'm like, all right, well, my conversations are gonna have to wait. So time to eat.
I would like you, Billy, to roll me a D12, please.
D12. That is a 9.
As you're sitting there, kind of housing down your lunch,
or as Jeremy says, wolfing down my lunch.
As you're wolfing down your lunch, you catch a group of the slackers. They're a mix of 9th, 10th, and 11th graders. There's 4 of them, and they're sort of getting up from just down the table from you as they're starting to grab their stuff to head out of the lunchroom. And the lunchroom's thinning out a bit. Basically, generally, if people don't hang out in the lunchroom, they'll eat their lunch and then they go out into the hallway, and then out at the back of the school where there's an athletic field in the warmer weather. In foul weather and in wintertime, everybody would go to the gymnasium and just kind of loiter around, sit on bleachers, that kind of thing. These 4 slacker kids, as they're walking by, you hear one of them say, "Yeah, man, I heard that whoever this guy is, he's got term papers, final exams, test scores, test answers, answer keys, all this stuff. It's really hard to actually get a hold of this stuff. It's like you got to know a guy who knows a guy." And this is the weirdest part about it. As they're walking away, the last thing you hear is, apparently it's the kid that's in the mascot. Whoever that is, that's who you got to see. That's who you got to impress. And then they kind of walk off.
That's awesome.
Oh,
That's awesome.
I kind of like lift my head up and kind of angle my ear in their direction when they say that. And then I just kind of like scan the room looking for Coop.
With the lunchroom sort of thinning out, I think as you look down the table, it's as these kids got up, they were sort of blocking your line of sight. It's near the end of this row of tables is where Rosie and Coop and another kid are, and Oak. Oak's not the other kid. That was Jonesy. Sorry, Oak and Coop and another kid are
Nice, Chad.
Amazing.
are sitting down there.
So, I'll go ahead, Rosie.
I was just gonna say Rosie's just still eating. She's eating very fast because she got a lot of stuff for lunch, and she realizes that it's almost time for lunch to be done.
Coop smashing his
So-
fries into his shake. And he's just like talking to Rosie and Oak and his new friend Jonesy. And he's just like, yeah, and it was total bullshit. Like, you have to spin the dial twice past the number in order for it to work. Nobody told me that.
Yeah, don't ask me. I never really mastered it. And I look over at Jonesy kind of knowingly. I feel like he maybe knows that I can like get a hold of the key.
But in any case, I figured it out finally. And so I was able to put down all of my books. Why do they give you so many books?
Don't ask me, man. I think it's so you get strong. It's like upper body strength all the time.
It's because they want us to have gym like 24 hours a day, but they can't tell us that they want us to have gym 24 hours a day. So they put like 50 pounds of books in your back, and either you get strong or you get back problems and osteoporosis. That's what I hear, at least.
Why do you think I have a?
That's probably going to be.
Why do you think I got a 65-mile-an-hour fastball and I like bump Jonesy? 65. I clocked it the other day.
You did not.
65.
You
I've
did
got
65 miles an hour?
it. Come over to my house. I will
gotta
do it
see.
again. I got the gun
Okay.
out and everything.
You have a gun?
Not a no. Shh.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't say that here.
I just imagine Coop saying that way too loud. Just a couple people nearby are like,
The speed gun, the light gun for the Jeez, Coop.
Coop just shrugs and keeps jamming fries in his mouth.
Amazing. I imagine I look over and finally notice Billy. I'm like, hey, Richie Rich. Are you looking for somebody to sit with? You look awful lonely way down there.
So I'll take what's left of my lunch in my, my bag and, head on over to Rosie and crew.
And then as soon as he gets close, Rosie kind of like sniffs and is like, oh. Billy, I didn't know you were into that scene, man. I think you
I
got
was
sprayed
talking-
by a skunk outside.
I was talking to Laz and
Oh, there you go. Say no more. And I look over at Jonesy and at the mention of Laz. And I just smile.
Well, I don't think here's a good place and a good time, but I think y'all need to have a chat.
About what?
I kind of like give a shifty eye to, the other people that are, in the area and say, happened this summer.
And
Jonesy
there's-
just looks right at you and goes, what happened this summer?
Shut the fuck up, Jonesy.
Dude, who
Nothing
are...
happened this summer.
All of a sudden you come back from summer vacation and you're hanging out with these little kids? That's Billy Stapler. No offense,
Nothing-
Billy Stapler, but it's just not normal for you to hang out with us kind of people.
And Rosie's just kind of like shaking her head and like clearly like pretty suddenly has stopped eating. And there's still food on her plate.
Oh,
And
well,
she's
Billy,
just sort of staring down.
if you want to talk, you can come over to my house tonight. My mom and her boyfriend Jake are going bowling.
Yeah. I don't have anything going on. If everybody else is down.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't mind chatting. I got a couple questions myself, honestly.
I kind of look at Jonesy and I look at the two littles, and I look back at Billy, and Rosie would just kind of like stand up and like has like a napkin, and she would like wipe her mouth, and she would just be like, I can't make it tonight. we got late practice, so sorry. Maybe next time. And then Rosie, like pretty suddenly, faster than is comfortable, would stand up from the table and be like, I gotta go to, what hour is after lunch, Jake? Fourth or third period? Fourth period. I gotta get going. I gotta get all the way upstairs. So sorry. Yeah, Billy, let me know next time. And Rosie like walks away pretty quickly.
As you make a quick exit, Jonesy just kind of goes, wait, but we don't, and he's not addressing any of you. He just kind of goes, we don't even have practice tonight.
Basketball, Jonesy, Jesus.
You don't have practice tonight.
No. Okay.
But Billy doesn't know that.
No.
Billy does now.
Does. Fuck.
Thanks a lot, Jonesy.
I would
Shit.
like either Laz or Jessica to please roll me a d12.
Hey, while they're doing that, since she ditched us, I think Rosie should roll a D100.
Oh, the first
Okay.
D100 of the season.
I suppose I will.
So do we have new options because we're now in school?
Yeah.
I haven't yet made the adjustments, but I will be making the
Okay.
adjustments. And
Where?
some of them, I'm pretty sure I can just adjust them on the fly.
Great. 45.
Something tells, I don't know why, but I feel like that number's been rolled before.
Okay.
I'll find out.
I believe.
Oh no,
I
it
did
has.
roll
It was
that
the
before.
Nope.
the frickin'
Nope.
Moss Man.
Nope.
No?
That
Okay.
was not it. 43 was written, I rolled before.
Jesus, dude, how do you remember that?
Because I have a
'Cause he has the
spreadsheet that I'm
notations
looking
in
right
the
at.
list
Oh,
itself.
oh.
And
I
I
thought you just had a computer brain.
I have a like a Commodore
Weird
64
science.
for a computer brain. It's not great. It's got a tape deck for memory
Damn
for
it.
storage, but
Better than nothing.
no, I'm looking at a spreadsheet and I've highlighted the previous ones.
Thanks a lot, Tamiko.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and we'll resolve this as you're heading to class, because you are walking through the halls. There's a few people are starting to hit their lockers. You hear the classic doors slamming, especially as it's getting closer. You come around you go up the stairs and you come around the corner. What class are you going to?
American Lit with Mrs. Whitman.
Which is
Room 208.
That's on the second floor. So yeah, you're going up that set of stairs. So as you come around the corner from the stairs, that's where the entrance to the upper level. There are doors that are up, seem to always be locked. There's a couple doors that go to the music balcony in the loft area, in the rafters of the auditorium. And it's as you come around that corner and you're in front of this area where there are no lockers, you kick something and it goes skittering across the floor. And you see it's a cassette tape. It looks like we're gonna go really classic here. I don't remember the brand name, but it's the ones that have the blue and white label on it. They're an all black
Oh my god.
cassette, and it's got the blue and white label. And you just see it skitter across the floor, and you can see that there's something written in Sharpie in the white part of this cassette. It's not in a case. It's just the
Okay.
cassette.
Okay. Rosie would go pick it up.
You walk over and you bend over and pick up this cassette tape, and you see that on the label of the cassette tape, it's hastily scrawled. It takes a minute to kind of decipher it. It says, "Play only on a Monday." Flipping the tape over, on the other side, in the same scrawled handwriting, it says, "Absolutely do not play on a Monday."
Awesome. Okay. I am definitely going to do this, but I don't want to be a spotlight hog, so...
Well, you don't exactly have access to a tape player right now, do you?
Oh, I don't? Okay, I probably don't. That's fair.
Not at this exact moment you're heading to whatever class you're heading to.
They're not allowed in skill.
I believe,
That's cool. Awesome.
if I'm not mistaken, M actually supplied that prompt.
Thank
for
you,
us.
M. Great.
Though M appears
That's
not
why
to.
I was so familiar. I'm like,
I was gonna say,
know this.
though M
I've
doesn't
heard this
seem to
before.
recall because you seem to have a confused look on your face.
Welcome, I guess.
It was so familiar. I'm like, I've heard this before.
To be fair, all of those.
It's from
were
Tomb of
made months
Annihilation.
ago.
I know it.
It was from my own brain, turns out.
Yep. So, yes, you however you want to annotate that. I just wrote in my notes Monday tape.
I also wrote Monday tape. That's awesome.
All right, and Jeremy rolled a 7 on the D12. So as after Billy left and the two of you are standing there finishing cigarettes of whatever kind they may be, the stoner dude that was standing there, his name is Lewis. Yeah, I don't have a last name for him right now. He's kind of moved over to where a couple of the others, there's a couple that are just sitting. By couple, I mean actual couple. A 11th grade girl and a 10th grade boy. They're sharing a cigarette as they're sitting there. They're just kind of staring up at the sky as Lewis goes over to them, and he just goes, "Ah, man, I think they said it was like next month or something. Said it's like super rare, and you're gonna be able to see it for like 2 weeks in the sky. Some kind of comet's supposed to be coming by. I don't know. I heard one of the astrology or whatever it's called geeks talking about it. Oh, comet. Aren't those the ones that move like really fast? No, that's like meteors, man." And they just keep debating astronomy a little bit as they just very quickly get off track. And it's within moments they're already talking about, one of them goes, "No way, man. They filmed the moon landing in a studio in Burbank." As you are overhearing this conversation, the bell rings, letting you know you have 5 minutes to get to your 4th period class.
With a final fuck, he puts the cigarette he was working on out on the concrete and takes off at a run. I had one last to give. I had to.
Now you've given up all your fucks.
Do
There's more left to give.
you two walk together back in the building separately?
Well, if Laz is hoofing it, Jessica does not run unless she has to for sports. So
What do you have?
But I think
Sixth period.
maybe
Oh,
Laz
it's phys ed with me.
starts to run, and then realizes that Jessica's going to get left behind if he takes off running, so he kind of slows up a little bit, like reluctantly. Come on, why are you wearing those stupid shoes, anyways?
they're vintage, she says as she's walking. What class do you have?
I got it. AP fourth period.
Yes.
AP chemistry.
Ew. Why?
That's what they signed me up for.
You didn't like pick your own classes?
No, I would never. I can pick a nerd class like that.
She like looks at you for a second. Okay.
Some counselor bullshit.
Did you talk to the counselor too? Aren't they weird?
Yeah. Like really weird.
They're like super interested in us. That's a little weird.
Well,
Asked me a bunch of questions about like who I trusted and who I didn't like and whatever.
Oh, really? That's no, I didn't. They didn't ask me anything like that.
No? What did they ask you?
It was, it's all like class stuff and school shit, like the AP chemistry stuff.
But you said that they were weird. That's not weird.
You look, I gotta go. It's all the way on the other side of campus, but it was great and hilarious seeing you try that cigarette, by the way.
Les, and you feel Jessica grab your shoulder and it really hurts. Like too hard.
He had another one to give, apparently.
You squeeze one more out of it.
Like blood from a stone.
You're using up your fucks for the next day. Now you have one less.
It's a fuck
You're in
deficit.
Yeah. But yeah, this is like too hard. As she
His
like
backpack comes off his shoulder. What
yeah.
the hell?
What the fuck, Laz?
It wasn't me that squeezed your shoulder.
If we're going through all of this bullshit, we have to trust someone. We have to trust each other. Who else are we going to trust?
With what? What the fuck are you talking about?
With all the shit that just happened to us. Laz, I know that you know what happened. I know that you remember, she says. And she's like getting like confrontationally close to him.
All right. Yeah, it was a weird fucking summer, okay? Can't we just pretend like none of it happened?
Just for it like all to happen again?
Everything's different. Everything's different. Like maybe none of that shit has to happen again. Maybe we can just fucking be normal for a little bit.
She like crosses her arms again. Not with how that the counselor went. Right, it's been right from the get-go, she says, like, we're in fucking Weird Town here, and we're not getting out, and we're not even supposed to be here.
Yeah, all right, you're right, okay? Billy wants to get together, so maybe we just take him up on that, we can find some kind of place to, I guess we'll meet, maybe the pizza place, I don't know, we'll talk about it and find out if it's the same for everybody,
I think she sees like your stress, and she kind of takes a step back a little bit. Listen, I just want to make sure. A lot of shit happened in the summer, and if we can avoid that, I want to try. And I think that means not pretending like it didn't happen.
I mean, like not being cagey about what happened to Anne?
You see Jessica like suck in the inside of her cheek. Fuck you, Laz, she says finally, and she just leaves.
Damn. Awesome. Fucking scene.
Laz, I need you to roll a I need you to roll a grit check.
Great. Why, Jacob, I thought you'd never ask.
Give me the vapors.
16, sir.
15. Okay.
16.
Or 16. What are your ranks?
Thanks. I have ranks in gank and crank.
Ranks in gank and crank. Where are my ranks? So gank, your quick fingers, and crank is your hands on drugs, no problems. Neither of those is going to be applicable here. Although, no, you were mostly smoking a cigarette out there, weren't you? You got a little bit high. You weren't like super high.
Yeah.
So I won't put the -2 penalty on you for you're like so high right now for crank, but
good call. Okay.
Jessica storms off, goes in through the cafeteria door, and leaves you standing there for just a moment. And right behind you,
it's definitely one of those shots where the camera is pulling down the hallway and the double doors like close.
As you're standing there, right behind you, you hear, whoa. Lewis has come up behind you, and Laz, you notice as Jessica grabs the door and walks in, there's about a 1 or 2 second lag before her reflection in the window enters the door. And as the reflection turns and enters through the reflection of the door, you swear the reflection looks at you. Just a quick glance, and you're not sure if you're seeing fear or anger.
Damn.
All right, 4th period, everybody.
Reading Tom Sawyer.
So, let's see.
What?
Oak and Coop. Right after lunch, Oak and Coop have the joy of phys ed.
Please tell me that the coach also interchanges their names constantly.
We'll have to see. Let's see. So then, Jessica, you've got photography. Rosie, you've got American Lit. Billy's got AP Calc. And Laz is going to AP Chemistry.
I thought I was in chemistry with Laz.
Sorry. The two of you, yes, the two, sorry. What did I say that you had?
You
I
said
skipped
had
one.
Calc.
I skipped one. Yeah, you have Calc 5th period. You both have AP Chemistry with Mr. Bunsen.
Oh my god. Stop it.
What a name.
Incredible.
This way, Beaker.
Yeah, he's definitely the teacher who's like, he writes his name on the board, Mr. Bunsen, and then he immediately turns around and goes, detention for the first person that makes the joke. Mr. Bunsen
already stifling a laugh.
Mr. Bunsen has the closest thing, and this is so Tomiko has a perfect celebrity to pick. He looks like a young Geraldo Rivera.
Oh.
He always wears like pale yellow, green, or blue dress shirts with a matching tie, and he always has the sleeves rolled up and then pushed up past the elbows, and he's got his forearms are hairy, and his knuckles hairy. He looks like Klinger from the elbow down on MASH, and he just turns around with that, pointing the chalk at all of you. Detention for the first one that makes the joke. And I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to end the session here in a moment because I really want a chance to see Oak and Coop in gym. If there's anybody I want to see in gym.
Would you masochist?
Yeah.
Sadist. Sadist, the other
I
one.
would like...
We love a little trauma here at MTD.
Let's see. Oak. All right, here's what we're going to do. I want Oak, Coop, and Jessica to each roll a d12.
Oh. Go, Jeremy.
And 10. Chad, re-roll that 10, please.
10's no good.
Okay,
10's
I
no
also
good.
got another 10, but I'll keep rolling until it's not a 10. Okay. I rolled an 8.
So did...
Re-roll again.
Yeah, M rolled an 8.
Roll correctly, Chad.
Here,
Okay, I'll keep rolling until it's not a
hold on.
match.
Chad, roll a d6. That way I know you won't roll anything that somebody else has rolled.
Oh, okay. Smart. Okay. Oh, 1. Yay.
Yay.
Okay. Jessica, you got the 8. These are, hey, did you hear rumors as you are heading to class? And for Oak and Coop, they're probably either as you're heading to class or as you get to the dreaded locker rooms and you're changing into your PE uniforms. Jessica, you know how when you're all heading to your classes, there's the people that are heading to that same area. You just end up in these throngs of people all going the same way. You end up with a couple of kids. They're a couple of underclassmen for you, probably ninth graders, ninth grade boys. And they're mumbling something about, in fact, you hear them naming off, Coach Shakiti, Miss Morgan, Mrs. Way, definitely Keatsman. Oh, and definitely Gunnarsson and Sharp. No way. No, seriously. My older brother was telling me about it. Over the summer, every summer they change out who it is. They take those teachers and they put them into some kind of like, what do you call it? Like cryogenic sleep deep down in a sub-basement. And they have clones. It's like in The Last Starfighter when that thing touched him and touched Alex and then it started to morph into him. Like, no way, man. It's not cryogenics. It's like pod people. It's like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And these kids are just going back and forth, ultimately dancing around the idea that some of the teachers have been replaced. Coop. I can't read my writing.
Me either, man.
Okay. Coop. And what did Oak get? What'd you get again when you re-rolled, Jeremy? Or I'm getting the people's names mixed up.
I rolled a 1.
You're
You rolled a
actually
1.
human
Okay.
friends.
One.
Okay.
sir. I rolled a
So, Coop, you hear on the other side. So the way this locker room works is there's like a main area that walks past the coach's office, and then there's these little like aisles with the bench and lockers on either side. Then they're like dead end aisles. And so you're hearing this on the other side. You don't really know who's saying it, but one of the kids is talking to another kid, and he's saying, yeah, those power surges that were happening all morning. I heard somebody say, it was one of the science geeks. They were saying they think there's some kind of secret lab in the basement of the school, and it's them drawing power for experiments. And then the last rumor, Oak, you hear 2 seniors that are in your gym class. As you all are getting changed, one of them says, yeah, the guy in the lab coat, Dr. K. Yeah, what about him? Supposedly he teaches physics. He's always after school. Even last year, he was always staying after school, tinkering around in the chemistry lab or the biology lab. Yeah, so? When did you take physics? I never had it. Neither did I. So? Have you heard of anybody taking physics? No. Where's the physics class? Isn't it down by the chemistry lab and the biology lab? Nope. Biology is on one side, chemistry's on the other side. Robotics and photography, all the shop classes, and home ec up in the corner. I've never seen a physics classroom. Then the other kid just goes, whoa. So what the hell does he teach? And that's where we're going to end.
Wow, I like that. That's a good one. That's a goodie, all right. Ooh.
It's like my rumor and Oak's rumor are almost intertwined.
Yes.
Just remember,
Awesome.
not every rumor you hear is true. But even some of the greatest lies have a foundation in the truth. I feel like I'm assembling a weird platitude like Eli Lancaster, trying to talking about rivers and changing waters.
There's a river metaphor in here.
That was a reference
not
to
everything is true, but
was a
some
reference
things
to
are true and some things aren't.
That was a reference to the Curse of Strahd campaign that Em ran, and I played a cleric slash gunslinger named Eli who was always going on about water and rivers, and even I didn't know what he was talking about. I was trying to make him sound like he knew what he was talking about. It did not work.
If root is strong, tree will survive.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, next week we will return with our third episode, and we're going to see what Oak and Coop get up to in gym class. And we might see Laz and Billy in chemistry, Jessica in photography class, and Rosie in American Lit. As we continue with, this is starting to have reminiscent of some of our other campaigns where one day takes several weeks to get through.
But then sometimes one session is like a month.
Yeah, or 100 years.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
I definitely, I feel like I hit on what I wanted to, which was the theme, obviously, from the title. Hey, what did you hear? There's some rumors. I wanted to start seeding some things for you guys to start thinking about. And you guys kind of took the ball and ran with it anyway with the conversations about with
Hellmouth.
Billy and Jessica and and Laz and coming to terms with what really happened, and can only get more interesting from here. So thank you everybody who tuned in to hang out with us tonight. As always, we greatly appreciate it, whether you're watching live with us or you're lurking somewhere in the background, or watching with us on the VODs at a later time. We always appreciate that. Thank you to everybody who supported with bits and subs and resubs and all that stuff. Looks like we hit a hype train early on. Level 3, awesome. I love seeing that. And tune in on Monday for some Scribes and Scrolls, which is our Pathfinder game, and we'll be back here next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Before we go, one final thank you, as always, to these incredible players. Some game masters might worry about the fact that they've got 6 characters that are going in 6 different directions. Not me. You guys know how to carry your characters through the story and somehow bring yourselves all back together again. And I just love placing you in this world and letting you run around in it. So thank you, as always, to these amazing friends and role players. Chad, Tamiko, M, Carrie, Ted, and Jeremy, without whom this would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream. You can say it with me if you want.
Why do you smell like skunks, Jessica?